What's up, everybody? How's it going? Um, so it's been a while since we've done like a podcast episode. So I figured I would kind of do a little bit of like a mix of cooking and some, just kind of give you like a life update, like where we've been, like what's going on. Sorry, I had to get the oil ready, but first off, what I'm cooking is a Dorito crusted um, chicken wing. That I've also got these shits marinating in jalapenos and just like seasoning and stuff. Now it says to pat them dry, so I'm kind of like, all right, which, pull please. I've got my paper towel somewhere. Boom. Put that right there. I've also got the directions because I will forget. Then I've got flour, bang. I'm gonna need eggs, and then milk. I really need milk, as the directions say. But honestly, as you can see, I'm also in my own spot. If you kind of saw some of the shorts or whatever, I've been doing like a lot of cooking, which I like cooking anyway. Don't get it twisted. I love cooking. But just like living at my parents' house, it was like I can't really be doing all that. Well, I probably could, but it was just a lot. And then if I made leftovers and fuck around, my stuff's gone, and it's like I don't want to deal with all that. So for like the last couple of months, I mean, living at my mom's, I kind of just stopped cooking. But yeah, so it goes flour, egg, Doritos. Again, this is my first time doing this, so hopefully this turns out pretty good. But well, look at these. Like, had them like marinating for a couple hours, like since this morning. Woo. But yeah, I moved into this place in August. I feel like my flour isn't seasoned enough. It's not like floury seasoned enough looking. Um, but I guess I'll give you like a yearly breakdown, like what's been going on. Obviously, from some of the episodes before, Danos. I lost my job at the bank, which that was really hard. Then I started doing this job where barbecue seasoning just a little bit, where I would go around to different speedways and do like resets and stuff. Paprika. I did that from pretty late, sure, like February to like January to February, maybe into March. Yeah. But while I was doing said job, I got pulled over in Fremont. For those of you living in Rapids, know that's who live in Michigan know that's kind of near Muskegon-ish area. And my tags were expired. I didn't have insurance, and by the grace of God, the cop was like, "I'm not gonna tow your car, but get that stuff together." So I did, and but after that, like that job kind of ended, and I was just like, "Well, that sucked. Like, what do I do now?" So I ended up being really without a job from like March to shit. No, really like January-ish, February to April this year. jalapenos. I was like, let me use those, whatever. But yeah, I still had to go to court, and I was still broke. Didn't have no money. So I had to figure it out, and I still ended up going to court, like driving to court to Fremont, and it sucked because, again, didn't have a car, so I'm stressed. If I stop talking and look down, it's literally because I am reading the step-by-step directions. Flour, egg, Doritos. All right. And I'm leaving these shits in the bag. But, I'm turning this shit off. Because I know that shit's hot as hell. But yeah, so did that, and then while that was going on, my dad had this really wild health scare. My mom and I found him, and he just like wasn't responsive, and we took him to the hospital. You know, I think it took him maybe like 4 days to like really wake up, but even then it was like, you know, he wasn't really. I'm gonna go through a lot of gloves, by the way. Really wasn't all the way there. But he eventually woke up. My sister was there. My older brother on my dad's side was there. My brother on my mom's side was there. We've had like family come up. I've got an uncle in Grand Rapids, you know, so on and so forth. But even then, that was kind of like, what the hell? Like, it led to some drama, and so that shit sucked. But then after that, he went home, literally went back. He signed himself out, which was against medical advice. He ended up going back same day. Since then, that was in like February, March. Haven't heard from my brother that lives on the east side of the state. I've got a real good relationship with my brother now, like on my mom's side. So that's really cool. I'm actually gonna set that up there. Maybe. Cool, yeah. My sister and I, we kind of talk a little bit more. Not as often. Like, we talked a lot more, like, after, like, really happened with, like, our dad and stuff. But, haven't talked a lot since then. But, yeah, it's kind of dope. Still being able to grab those relationships with, like, my siblings, because that's kind of, as the youngest, that's kind of what you want. It's like to have that. Well, that's what I've always wanted, to have that relationship with my siblings. Yeah, so that was like March-ish. Fast forward to April, I actually got a job at the hospital. Well, back at the hospital. I just was like on like Indeed or whatever, and my niece actually works at the hospital, and she said her department was hiring. And I'm like, bet. That's what I literally did during the pandemic, bro. So I'm like, cool. Applied for that, and I was like, you know what, whatever. I even applied to work in the kitchen. Not to be like a cook or anything. Like, I can tell, like, I'm fat also, so like I be cooking up some stuff, but just kind of like working in the cafeteria. So ironically enough, I didn't get the cleaning one, which was like, all right, I guess, whatever. But I got the one in the cafeteria, so that was dope. So I've been doing that since April. My birthday was in May, so I turned 28 in May. So literally, and then it's ironic, it's funny. So, not funny, but like, so the stuff with my dad, I was like, just like some stuff, and I was like, you know, I can't like live here no more, like blah, blah, blah. So my goal already was this year to like move out of my folks' house. Um, but I just remember I was like, cool, I'm working, and I just started touring apartments. And I think the apartment I'm in was like tour number 3. I toured one place. It was cool. It was by the laundromat. It was close to my mom's, closer to work. So I toured that place. I liked it. The other place I toured, hell no, they wanted like $1,500 for like a box. Like, probably at the end of the video, I'll like show that apartment. Like, no shade, like it was nice. It had like EV parking. If you heard like a noise, that was my AC kicking on. But I was like, I'm not paying for this, bro. So then I toured this place, and I liked it. The unit I toured was a lofted studio, so that was fire. I have like a regular studio apartment. Which again, no shade, because first apartment. I'm watching football also. It's Sunday, bro. Like, what you want from me? Pick 6. But yeah, so was doing that. So I toured that, and I was like, do I apply? I might actually keep this, because I might make, nah. Do I apply? Do I not apply? And all my friends were like, nah, bro, apply. And I'm like, I just started, so I prayed on it. I talked to some people at my church. Talked to my pastor, my worship pastor, my tech director, like just people who were like close to me, like knew what I've been going through this year. My birthday rolls around, super dope. I think I for that I invited like a bunch of people, and so many people came out to Chili's. I don't think I got that much love in so long in my life. So that was super dope. The next week, I get back a hold of the apartment complex. I'm like, hey, are you guys still doing like that deal for like, you'll waive my deposit, my security deposit for being a hospital employee? They're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's do that. You want to apply? And I was like, yeah. Can I come grab an application? Later this week. So I do. I grab the application. It was a $200 application fee. $250 application fee. No, like apartment holding fee. And then like a $35 application fee. Now, if I got the apartment, that two whatever the app fee and the $250 go towards the like the moving cost. If I don't, I got the $250 back. So I was like, either way, it's kind of a win-win. Also, making fries. Got my air fryer preheated. So yeah. Oh, wrong thing. So I did that, and that was literally the next day. I was at work, and I get a phone call from a number I've never seen, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, I gotta go take this phone call." And sure enough, it was the apartment complex saying, "Hey, we just want to let you know you were approved for the apartment." Now, mind you, I have like not the best credit. You know what I mean? But just the fact of everything I had, really been through this year, I got it. This was, so I moved a month ago because I was like, there's no way I'm gonna have this money in May. So I was like, hey, can I move in like August? Get my money up, boom, boom, boom. They're like, yeah, sure, no problem. So get the date, now I'm hyped. I'm calling, I'm telling people, like, I'm putting, I'm excited because, this is my first place by myself. I've had it place with my baby mom. I've had a place with my ex, you know. So this was like a big deal. Like, I've got my car, I've got my apartment. Speaking of my car, that shit got repossessed earlier this year, you know, no job. I woke up one day, that was gone, fam. And I was like, cool. But got it back. My dad helped me pay. How, bro? Do I not pay for that? I literally pay for that though. Okay. Yeah, dad helped me pay for that. It was $1,000. Yeah, I moved here. So like right before I moved here, like maybe like a month before I moved here, I applied to become a cook at work because the manager was like, well, the supervisor was like, hey, we see what you do to help out, you know, your homeboy. You ever thought about cooking? I was like, I like cooking. Like, I cook at home. Like, I cook for my friends. And so I applied and I got it. So for the last like month and a half, you know, your boy been professionally cooking, you know. So that's cool. But I got some more news coming up, you know, here in the next like couple days. So we're gonna kind of hit that in a couple days. But yeah, life been you know, I've been sliding through, you know. I've been trying to stay faithful to my word, you know. Boy, Philly is really getting blown out right now. And you know, one thing that my old pastor used to say was always be faithful, available, and teachable. And I really think what happened at the bank was a moment of me like I feel like I stopped listening to God a lot and like started listening to myself. And this was him being like, nah, bro, you finna sit down for a minute. Like, so, yeah. So now it's September. I'm in my spot. I got my car. I got a job. You know what I mean? I also realized some other stuff in my life. But yeah, it's been a long year, and we're in September. But I feel like, you know, can only go up from here. Like, there's no way. I kind of gave like, I think I posted it on YouTube. I don't know, but I'll post a short, kind of what my apartment's what the vibe is kind of looking like. I got to add more stuff. I'm gonna go to Spirit Halloween probably and get stuff for the outside of the door. Yeah. I really want to say thank you to all of you guys, to all 55 of you on YouTube, for really sticking it out. I really appreciate you guys. Like, I'm gonna try and be more consistent, especially being here, like in my own spot. I got to figure out like where I'm gonna set up. Like, I got a cool like new frame, like bed frame that has like a light on it. So I don't know if I want to have the light as a backdrop and then like have some stuff on top of I don't know. Got to figure that out. But I will post like a short of what the food looks like at the end. But y'all have a great rest of y'all day. If I don't post this today, it is Sunday, the 21st. I'm trying to get this out as fast as possible, but peace.